Warning, this is an adult-oriented podcast about really perverse things like communication and consent. If you are under 18 and looking for answers to questions about sex or kink, please visit scarletteen.com. For the dude bro listeners, this is the nerdy shit. Fuck off!
Man whore, man whore, everybody wants to be a man whore. Man whore, man whore, a man whore on Lala's land.
Oh, are we doing that already?
Yeah.
I forget how we go.
We just go.
We just go by the seat of our pants.
I am here tonight for Lala's Land.
Lala's land.
La 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 la.
Are you guys going to sing me in?
Sure.
Okay.
La 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 la.
La 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 la. Is
Hi.
that copyright infringement?
I think
Maybe.
that was copyright.
I'm
Yips.
waiting for Gargamel.
I can't do garden.
I can't either.
Got nothing, man.
Shark Boy was behind you, like doing the hand jazz hands up in the sky. It was great.
That was your signal to go.
Oh,
Go,
I'm
go,
going.
go,
I'm
go.
going. I'm going.
It's all you,
Hey, listeners, it's been a little bit, but we're back, and we're going to start off with Lala's Land, and I have a guest, a very special guest, a very special friend of mine who I adore. I don't know if you know how much I adore you, but I adore you so much.
Really?
Who is it?
It's Mr-Morsus.
It is I, Mr-Morsus.
Mr-Morsus,
Hello, everybody in Lala's land.
also known as
Jay,
Jay. Hi, Jay.
howdy.
You're also Jay from the W of the JW.
Yeah, paddle makers,
Yes.
local kink makers.
So you want to talk some sex?
Sure.
This is Lala's
yeah,
land.
it is Lala's land. It is kind of expected.
Yeah. All right. So, how do you like to have sex?
Often.
On a
Often.
bed, on a floor, in the car, outside against a tree,
I'm very
on a boat?
traditional. Weirdest place I've had sex would be at a mortuary. So cold table.
In a mortuary.
Yeah, in the mortuary in the back where they embalm the. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Was
New
there
kink unlocked. Wow.
Yeah.
was there a body?
No, it was an old girlfriend. She was. She worked back there, and well, you know, one thing led to another, and it was a chilling experience.
That is so freaking hot.
Sounds
Yeah.
so amazing on so many
Try
different levels.
performing. Try performing when it's so freaking cold. When your ball sacks hit that cold stainless steel table, it shrivels up instantly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. So that's the strangest place. What's
Mm-hmm.
the most? Have you had sex in front of people?
You should know this, Lala.
I might have watched you
Yeah.
once or twice,
Yeah. Answer your question. Yes. Yes. We have had sex in front of people.
but not just me.
No.
Multiple times.
Other times, yes.
Okay. I'm
It's-
jealous that it wasn't always in front of me.
No. Don't be jealous.
Would you consider yourself kinky?
Very kinky, extremely kinky, or not kinky at all. I'm right, 50-50, maybe 60% kink. Yeah.
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 What's the kinkiest thing you've done?
Well, currently I'm into destroying pussies. I guess pussy stretching. Not. Let me start off with this disclaimer. These are my opinions only, and these are my points of view. It's a singular point of view. I may not be right. It is my kink. But I am into inserting large objects into vaginas. And I brought some samples here.
Well, I'm really curious. Like, I want to know what you're into. I want to dive into that. Can we dive into that?
Yeah, definitely. So, in the bag here, in the table, you will see various. Maybe we should get a picture for the
Yeah, we can definitely.
Discord server.
Definitely.
Whoa! She almost dropped the dildo.
You're
What
making
the
me a
heck?
little nervous with
Yeah.
all these gigantic dildos
Right.
around you.
So, if you can get a picture of the big one there.
Wait, do you want to be in the picture?
No, just the hands is fine.
Okay. Okay.
Somewhere out there, somebody's
Got
gonna
it.
be like,
All right.
Cannon.
I know
That-
those fingers.
So just to give you guys an idea, an average woman's arm from elbow to fingertips, maybe bent fingertips.
Yeah.
That's how long it is. And the girth is thicker than my arm, my forearm.
For those of you that do have a tape measure, it is 12 inches long, and the circumference is 3 inches.
And there is like no, like
That is bigger than 3. Wait, what circumference? Yeah, that's bigger than 3 inches.
Nope.
Diameter is 3 inches, probably.
You're right, diameter.
Yeah. Yeah, that's damn sure bigger than 3 inches.
So for you listening who aren't on Discord, if you are on Discord, I will be posting these photos. The head of this thing is as wide as the whole shaft. Like there is no easing it in. It is.
Blunt force trauma to your pussy.
Well, let's just say that properly stimulated and properly lubricated, ladies can accommodate most anything.
I can honestly attest to having seen this be inserted and utilized and inserted all the way. All the way.
Wow.
Right.
All the way.
Balls to the wall.
It was
Fill
like
'em up.
it was like my own private porn that night.
You did enjoy
Right
that,
in front of
didn't you?
I was sitting on the floor. I had
6 inches away from the action.
a really good view of that one.
Damn, I want to go to y'all's parties. This is.
Oh, goodness. Also, I have recently started getting into hypnosis and kink.
Ooh.
Hence, we're going to be doing a little something here. And thought maybe I'd, try to hypnotize you. How receptive are you to hypnosis?
I'm pretty receptive. Well, I mean, I avoid the hypnotist at the fair because I got hypnotized at Six Flags Magic Mountain once, and it was
Magic Mountain. Huh?
yeah.
So, would you consent to a small attempt to hypnosis?
Yeah, let's try it.
All right. So I'm going to move these a little bit closer to you. What I got on the table here is I got a nice dildo from Bad Dragon, and I have a candle.
Okay.
So what we're going to do here, first of all, is it's all about trust, and it's all about your state of mind. So you just need to relax. So all of this, kind of put your arms down, relax.
Okay.
And we're going to associate this positive light with this dildo here.
Uh-huh.
So do you like the light?
Uh-huh.
Is it restful?
Uh-huh.
Is it peaceful?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see it flickering back and forth?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see the color?
Of the flame or the candle?
The
You're
candle?
making me nervous, Jay.
No, you need to relax.
Okay.
So close your eyes.
Okay, so I'm
Picture-
looking, wait, the color of the flame or the
flame.
candle? Okay.
We're looking at the flame.
All right, uh-huh.
And now I need you to look at the dildo.
Mm-hmm.
You see the color?
Yeah.
Now look back at the candle.
Mm-hmm.
You see that flame?
Mm-hmm.
Now I need you to slowly close your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and close them. And now picture that candle in your mind. And this is what hypnosis is all about. It's about you relaxing. I need you to drop the weight on your shoulders. There you go. I need you to take some small breaths, shallow breaths, and just picture that flame flickering. You feel comfortable?
Mm.
Okay. I'm going to count backwards from 5. You're getting restful. Your breathing is slowly going up higher, deeper breaths. There you go.
So I'm just going to go ahead and stop you guys right now. Okay. No. I meant you, the listener, who's sitting there trying to hypnotize their damn selves. Stop it. Snap out of it. All right. Shake your head. Good. Okay. Now continue listening.
4, you're becoming even more restful. 3, even more. 2, when you wake up and when you open your eyes, whenever you hear the word dildo, you will have a good orgasm. 2, once again, you're feeling very restful, very at ease, very comfortable. 1. Lala,
Mm.
hey,
Hey.
how are you?
Good.
You doing good?
Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
it's hot in here.
You did
Is
it?
it hot in here?
That's usually one of those things that happens. Your heat goes up. You feel hot because of the suggestion.
Uh-huh.
And we just suggested a couple of things for you.
Mm.
And, well, I just want to present other toys here, like this dildo that,
Oh.
this one here that has a bad dragon. It looks like the tail, if you want to get a shot of that.
Mm. Okay.
It's a It's a beautiful white and
That's very.
bluish. What is
pretty.
that? Turquoise dragon dildo
Hold it up a little bit.
tail.
Hold it up a little bit.
I'll hold it up.
Uh-huh.
I'll hold it up.
Yeah,
for
like.
you. Is this dildo too big? Lala, what's going on?
Nothing.
Okay. Just please
She's
share
so
with
giggly
us, okay?
now.
And then, of course, the one that you focused on, this other dildo, was another. What's going on, Lala? You're so red. Oh my God. What's going on, Lala?
It's so hot in here.
Really? Is that what's going on?
Should
Please
we
be
open the
honest.
window?
Oh no, it really is hot. Is
Is
nobody
it
else hot?
No, nobody else is hot.
No.
Really?
No.
Seriously?
My hands are
Seriously.
freezing
I
right
am-
now.
It's cold
Oh
in
my
here.
god, I gotta take these earmuffs off.
Yeah. So take a picture of this dildo. She can't function, guys. I wish you guys could see this. She cannot function. And she is bright red. This is another dildo that was bought from
Hey,
Bad Dragon.
hey,
Uh-huh.
let's talk about something else.
Sure. So let's not talk about pussy stretching anymore.
Yeah, we could talk about pussy stretching. Tell me what that entails.
That's a lot. Use of large objects, primarily dildos. And Lala, what's going on?
I don't know.
Just for you guys out there, she is like squirming around in her chairs uncontrollably.
Okay.
So about the pussy stretching.
Yeah.
How did I come up with this?
Yeah, what led you to it? What started it?
Honestly, a couple of pages on FetLife kind of turned me on to it. And then always just having this fascination in my head of what I call reverse birth. So I would want to eventually stretch someone out slowly, of course, so much where I can stick my head back in the pussy and have a reverse birth, go back into the vagina. How's that?
How
Wow.
far back do you want to go?
As far as I can get back there to be able to open my mouth, stick my tongue out, and lick the G-spot from the inside.
So, sorry. I'm sorry. This is
This
Lala's
is
land.
Lala's
Yeah,
land.
My bad. Sorry.
So, would you consider this vor almost to a point? Do you know what vor is?
No, educate me.
Where you want to be engulfed?
Ooh.
I thought that, and I
Right?
could be wrong, I thought that vor is specifically being engulfed through the mouth
Mm-hmm.
and then being inside the stomach. But I might be wrong. I don't know a lot about it, to be fair.
It's being devoured.
I think it's being devoured, but
Oh.
I'm not entirely sure.
You know what resonated? I had the book from Matthew McConaughey, right? The Green Lights, and he has a chapter in there where he is also enveloped by pythons and floating down the river. And I kind of got the same feeling about that. It's just like that warmth, that comfortness, that relaxation, and somehow it just came through to wrecking pussies.
And how many pussies have you wrecked?
Just one.
Just one, the one that I witnessed.
Yes.
Is that as wrecked as how big was that other toy that you put inside her?
I don't know. Can you measure that?
If I had a measuring tape.
That yeah. It's about, I would say about that big.
4 inches?
Yeah, about 4 inches.
4 inches in diameter.
Yeah, 4 inches in diameter. It looked bigger than that.
Yeah,
It's shorter than that one that you brought today.
definitely.
What is that?
This is a, I think it's called a Doc Johnson,
Oh,
but it's got the hole in the back where you can actually put the attachment to put it onto a reciprocating saw or a fuck machine and really go to work. Boom, 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 boom.
Damn.
Yeah.
I want some of those that are harness compatible. That sounds like
That's a
fun.
lot. That's a lot of weight.
That is a lot of weight, but I've seen like harnesses that are like brief style. They're supposed to kind of give you a little more leverage.
I think that would be really hard to manage.
It's really hard. It's a really hard dildo, by the way. Really hard. Yeah. Anywho,
So what about? Sorry, I have to ask the question.
go ahead.
What about foreign objects that are not meant to be inserted? Is that something that piques your interest?
As long as it's safe for the purpose that you're using it.
Right.
Yeah. As long as it's safe and it's not going to break or scratch or do any
Get stuck,
damage. Yeah.
cause a vacuum, any
Anything
of those
like
things.
that, yeah.
Bottles are bad, kids.
Just anything stretching out the vagina. That's the.
Are you interested in those tools that women have to go through, the salad tongs that kind of open you up?
The
To,
speculums?
thank you.
Speculums, yeah.
Yeah, you're interested in those?
I think those are a little small though. I want to go bigger.
Yeah, pretty small.
Yeah.
They are?
I mean, you're only stretching up this much just to be
Oh,
able to
it
get a
doesn't
little
look
sample.
like it. Doesn't feel like
It doesn't feel like it. Yeah, that is
Does
fair.
not feel like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, that's what I'm into, and
All
that's
right.
the kinkiest place I've had. You know, how many? 1, 2, shared 3 different dildos with, or actually 4. The one I gifted you, but a little different.
Yeah. So yeah, remember, listeners, when I opened the tentacle toy, that was from my friend Jay over here. I still haven't
Secret
used it. I
admirer.
apologize, but I haven't
Aw.
seen my sir. So, but we
Sir,
will.
get after it.
That's right. Bradler, do your job, man.
I mean, if you need someone to tag in to use it on you, I'm just saying, I'm right here.
I just want to be a fly on the wall when that happens.
I mean, we're all here right now.
Yeah, I mean, you got,
It's in Modi.
he has some tentacles right
It's
there.
But was it a dildo I bought you?
Stop. I can't right now.
Okay, Lala, let's we're gonna have to after the show we'll neutralize you. Stop.
All right.
Get-
So right now, I think that was really fun for Lawless Land. But now we're going to jump into Gotham Press Podcast. Right now. From Bakersfield to Mount Olympus. We all talk naughty business
Sexual boredom.
to
Something.
increase your whoredom.
Something. Kinky Yoda.
Cool if you're new or a Kiki Yoda.
Gotham
Press Podcast.
The nerdy shit.
Your parents warned you about.
You can see how often y'all actually listen. Hey, welcome back, Gothamites, to the Gotham Press Podcast.
What do you mean? Because we don't know the words all the way?
All the way?
We
All
did.
the way.
What do you mean all the way?
We butchered
You
it.
know like 2 words. What?
It sounds reverberatory.
Reverberatory?
Is it these?
Um,
It's probably these.
Probably.
It's probably those.
Are
So I'm
you
not
hearing
catching
it?
that.
Okay.
I don't hear nothing.
Yeah, it's these. I can't do it.
Okay.
Can't
that's
do
fine.
it.
All right.
So, anyway, this is one of your hosts, Innie McPrincess. Today, I am joined by my co-host, Micromanager Lala.
Hello.
I am also joined by my other co-host, Thief of Dreams.
Hello there.
And today,
Did you have such a sexy voice?
Thank you. I've been working on it for the last 20 seconds or so.
Thought you were going to say 20 years.
20 years. It changes every 20 years.
we are joined today by a very special guest and a previous guest on previous episodes, I believe, too. At least pre-me and Thief. Was it pre-you, Lala?
Yes.
Yeah. It was,
Yeah. So, I mean, you're here with all new hosts this time, so you're a real OG. You've been here longer than we
It's
have.
been a while.
Yeah.
He's the oldest member at the table of the podcast group.
I'm older
Yeah.
than you.
No. He said
No, oldest
podcast
of the
group.
podcast, like who's been on the podcast from way back.
Oh, yeah, it
Yeah.
would be you.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Anyhow, this is Mr-Morsus, or as we like to call him, Jay, also known as Jay of JW Paddles.
I've heard his partners refer to him as other names as well.
That's right.
Lover boy.
No, not exactly.
Spill the beans.
Nope,
Steve. Spill the beans.
can't do it. Secret's got to stay secret.
Mm-hmm.
Trust can't be broken.
Well,
It might have started with the letter A. Ended
Awesome.
with an E.
No, that's Captain.
Sure, we can.
Hey, where's Captain?
He's at work.
Good.
he's working.
Making the money.
Yeah.
Lame. Well, before we get started on some of our questions that we have today for Jay, we'd like to go ahead and thank our supporters over on Patreon. Again, for just $1 a month, you can help the podcast thrive. $5 a month, get early access to episodes. And for $10, we will write an erotica centered around you and read it on the podcast, of which we've already had 2 takers. So we are currently working on those.
What?
Wow,
Did
Lala.
you guys hear that mouse?
Yeah, the little
Damn.
mouse scurried by. We are working on those eroticas for you 2 right now, and hopefully you'll be hearing it on a podcast soon. You want to know where it can be found? Go ahead and take a look in the show notes.
Lala's very sparkly too. I see sparkles on her.
So,
Do I
hey,
have glitter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and put these dildos away.
Wait, I want to touch them. I want that one between my legs.
Okay. It's a big.
Oh my god,
Fat
it's
dildo.
heavy. It feels
Big boy.
funny.
It's heavy duty.
Wait, I want to touch it too.
Holy macanoles.
That's a nice dildo,
Oh,
isn't it?
man.
Give you a workout more than
I
weight.
don't think that would go in.
Ooh,
I could
he's a heavy
use,
boy.
yeah, like, that's a weight right there.
I like ones that are. So this is soft on the outside, but like really stiff on the inside, and I like
Yeah.
that for. Usually when I'm like, if I'm using
I
it in a
want-
harness, these are like the best pegging dildos is
Oh,
when they
yeah.
have a lot more structure to them. Because I feel like other dildos are just too floppy. And so they just kind of flop out of them.
So, listeners, I have to take a picture of Anemic with her fingernails and this giant
That's so
toy.
sexy.
Do you want to be in the picture?
I don't care.
Okay. Because they're so sharp. And let me try something different. Let me do. Oh, wow.
There you go.
Okay, wait. 1, 2, 3. You close your eyes.
Close your eyes.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I got it. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Because her nails are long and sharp like razor blades.
Sexy nails.
I have people who I play with who like to be scratched. So it was a little something different this time.
You have people that you do a podcast with that like to be scratched.
Oh, really?
yeah.
Who is that?
Myself, for one.
If I were wearing fishnets, I'd let you rip them.
Would you really?
I would let her rip them.
Oh, damn it.
I would
mine-
get a pair of
I'm-
fishnets
that's-
specifically so you can rip them.
Okay.
Well, you can.
And
both
I'll
rip
even
them.
I'll give you scritches while
But
you do
she
it.
has claws to rip them with.
It's true.
Is there metal in this thing? Like a metal spring? It is.
It's real bouncy. Like when it's heavy. It has
It
a lot
is-
of structure to it.
It's got some oof to it.
Yeah. Like you can get beat with that and be like, that's like a good little
Heck
massage.
yeah.
Like
We keep that at the nightstand, so it's between that and the 40 cal. So you get either somebody comes in, you either grab this thing and knock them on the head, or grab the 40 cal and shoot them. Like, you can't go wrong.
Nice. Nice.
well, since we've talked a lot about pussy torture, I would like to move
We
on. So you're
haven't.
just huh?
We haven't.
We have well, that's right. Yeah, that was weeks and weeks ago.
Yeah, that was on
That was
Lala's one.
months ago.
Yeah, crazy.
We
Hold on,
pre-record
because-
all those La La Lands
Oh,
like
yeah.
way
But now,
in advance.
now they're going to think that you've been holding out on La La Land episodes. So,
Oh well.
okay.
Well, some of the things that Jay is definitely known for now, besides pussy torture, which is awesome.
And stainless steel in the balls. Remember that?
What?
Stainless steel on the balls. You guys did it?
Stainless steel.
They've
in
already
the
forgot about
They
the
balls.
already
mortuary.
forgot about the
Yeah.
mortuary.
Oh.
Goodness.
Yes, and dragging his balls on really cool pieces of steel around dead bodies.
There was no dead bodies.
There was no dead bodies. That's
Okay.
illegal. I'm not going to. No,
so
no,
you
no.
want to admit to it? That's fine.
Technically, it was illegal for you to be there if you weren't a mortician.
Yeah.
But
Other things that, of course, he's known for is paddles. But today we're going to talk about something else that, I mean, if you know him, you definitely know he's into this, which is rope.
Rope. I've come a long way. Long way. Many years.
Big rope guy. And I know that we were talking the other day. You were telling me about a really neat thing you're currently doing in your journey of learning everything that has to do with rope. Would you mind telling us about that?
I was talking to my wife, posh girl, and I told her in these words, I said, babe, if I'm going to do this rope, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to really fuck this thing. She said, go for it. She supported me. So the idea that I expressed to people is I would eventually like to see Sensei Asada or another sensei that's got lots of knowledge come down to Bakersfield and teach. And then how do you do that? Well, you got to open up a dojo or a dojo, educational tax write-off, 501(c), and then have people join to learn, keep it educational, and then once a year either go test in Japan at his dojo or fly him out to stay with us and test the community here.
Okay.
There is, I guess it's like karate, like taekwondo, like jiu-jitsu, like the different rankings, you know, it's the white belt, the brown belt, or, you know, I don't know the rankings. But I am currently taking courses online, and you work through them, and then you go test in Japan. So my goal for next year will be 2022, maybe October 2022 is heading over to Japan and testing in front of Sensei.
Oh, wow.
So about, if you don't mind sharing, about how far in those courses are you currently?
The first 4 courses are your introduction courses. Just so you guys get a feel of it, they're about 4 hours online with the sensei, and he breaks it down to about 10 people at a time. The first 4 hours are just on breaking seiza.
I don't know what that is.
Breaking seiza. Seiza is traditionally how people sit in Japan. And when you're facing your partner, you stand at a 45 degree from them, and your partner sits in seiza. You can look it up for Google for pictures, but basically hands on your lap, knees bent, feet under the butt, you know, traditional sitting, like if you're in Japan having dinner, you know. And then the action of actually moving the model towards you, where the butt goes from the heels to the ground. So it kind of, they're sitting like this, and then when you break seizas, you either pull them or push them away from you, and their butt goes this way or their butt goes that way, where you're actually able to now manipulate them and ask them, or I don't want to say the word request, but guide them to where you need the model to go, so that you can work with her or him.
Okay, so is it kind of like teaching you how to maneuver the model? Typically, you start in that position, but then you learn how to move them where you need them to go?
Yes. It's basically the start or the A of the alphabet. So it's a lot of tradition, a lot of history, a lot of history on why. And then, God, it's so much has changed since the beginning. It was like, for me, the beginning was all about the shibari, all about the perfect rope, all about, you know, layering it and making it look good. Oh boy, was I wrong. Like this new theory, the way he instructs, it's more about the model than it is about the rigor.
So the experience, other than the presentation?
It's, no longer am I, that vision of this has to be perfect is gone out the window. This is all about the connection. Okay. He talks about spirituality and the way your energy goes through the rope, touches the model, and then how that energy comes back. So the rope is actually just like a medium to bring you guys together.
So it's more about the experience more so than the end result. Could that be something, the way that you can phrase it? Or okay.
Yes.
Or the experience is the desired result.
Oh, yeah. As opposed to
having a cool picture taking of you hanging upside down or something.
Yeah.
I feel like, though, you've always been more about the experience.
Yes.
Than the romanticism of it and the connection that you make with your partner that you're tying.
Correct. About 2 years ago, I took another class in LA, shameless plug, LA Dojo, ropedojo.com. And that sensei there said he would never tie with anybody other than his partners, even in practice. So he was sitting there, he would instruct, but he would not touch rope. And the reason is, it's again about this energy that I'm still trying to understand. He says that energy is reserved for just my partner. And I'm still trying to find that. And I've come close to it when I've tied with my wife. Put the blindfold on and everybody just fades out. You know, you have a full dungeon and everybody's watching, but that certain point where all the focus is on her, everything just fades out. You don't even hear people whispering anymore. There's this like hue surrounding the local area where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is black. And I pushed myself where I blindfolded myself as well. And just remembering where I had pre-left the ropes, right? 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And I reached over and they were right there without having to like tap, like look for it, you know,
Right.
like it was just, you reach over and you remember and you grab that bite and it just flows perfectly.
Tell the listeners what a bite is, because not everyone knows what a bite is.
I am a bite, Mr-Morsus.
Oh, I know. But tell the listeners what a bite of rope is.
A bite of rope is anytime you twist the rope back on itself. So like making a loop, you take one end to the other and where it loops like that is a bite.
Wait, okay. You can't do that because the listeners can't see what you're doing. So basically, if you were to fold the rope in half and where it curves and does a U-turn.
Yeah, just the U-turn. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the middle. It can be anywhere on the rope where you do a 180-degree turn.
Okay. Oh, I learned something new. I always thought it was just the middle of the rope.
Yeah.
You said something interesting just then about how everybody in the dungeon would watch your wife being tied.
Mm-hmm. She's sexy, isn't she?
She's very sexy. But do you not realize that they're watching you as well? Like they're watching that interchange between the two of you, the slight grin at your lips when you like twist a bar to tighten a rope, like just the little things that are happening between the two of you. So it's not just about like who's getting tied. Like it's not just about the rope or where exactly the rope is at or anything. It's all about watching the interaction between you two, and that was one of the biggest isn't a word. What word was I going for? But it was a very interesting and encouraging thing to see. Like it made you want to get involved, to be like, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. Like I know it'd be cool to tie people in harnesses and take pictures, but I want that experience of having somebody that you can almost mesmerize with your own touch plus the rope and kind of transport to somewhere else. Like, so their brain just goes somewhere other than their current location, I guess.
It's emotional. Emotion.
I was going to say,
that emotion.
Something else I wanted to add to that is like before I had joined the community, I had like an interest in rope, but it was purely just like that, oh, this looks really cool and it's kind of kinky or whatever, right? So I had like tried some at home or whatever, but my intent of anything experiencing rope was always to bottom for it. And that changed when I went to my first tasting and you showed me some rope and you had tied me up some. That changed my mind and I was like, I kind of want to try topping for this too. Because even like, and you know, admittedly part of it's because it was a tasting, so it was a little bit of like a different energy and it was very, you know, instructional. You explained to me why you're doing things in certain ways and it like made me kind of realize, I was like, this would be kind of cool to do to other people.
Definitely.
So I don't know, just being able to have that experience with you and then watching you with your partner has been just a really great experience because I see it from both sides and I'm like, this just looks awesome to have that sort of energy exchange with another person.
Yeah. Yes. It's like I said, I've come a long way and my original thoughts back then was, you know, the perfect length. And now it's more about connection. It's about that feeling of when the model tells you it was awesome or it was great, or when they leave saying, I would love to do that again, then I've done my job.
But let's also be clear that you're not talking about you've traded perfection in rope laying for half-heartedly kind of looping it around. Like it's that's still there for you. Like even if it's not your
focus,
main focus, like your fundamentals, your desire for that perfect encounter. So, you know, then is going to kind of make it so that the ropes that you're laying are probably fairly nice.
With repetition and with practice, everything kind of lines out. Lots of practice. But it's not about the rope anymore. It's about the connection that tool, the rope, is an extension of, say, when I'm going to hug the model and I use that rope, I take the rope from my right hand. She's facing away from me, so she's got her back to my chest. And I take that rope and I wrap it around the front of her, and I use that to be an extension of my arm. Then I bring my left hand over towards the front and grab the rope, and then pull that rope across her chest and use that friction to pull her closer to you. It's about using the tool as an extension of your arms, an extension of your fingers, so that you're able to get more power and more force and scoop her, bring her closer to you.
Almost like you're trying to envelop her.
Yes.
It's a lot more sensual.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to explain, and
No, it makes sense.
It does make sense.
It absolutely makes sense.
I just think that because I never really thought of rope in that way, especially like, when you see people using rope in the dungeon, you're just like, oh, this is cool, this is sexy, look how cool this rope looks, and that's usually what you're looking at. I guess you don't ever really think about the experience with the top in that regard.
yeah, and
It's cool.
it's hopefully someday soon we will be able to all get together and start classes again, and not to say that I'm going to teach, but I would like to share my experience of what I've learned for the past 2 years and the journey that, I'm taking, I'm currently undergoing, and just share that. And if people pick it up and they like it, great. And if they don't, then at least they experienced it, they tried it, and they moved forward.
True. Yeah. I know I started to say there's a lot of people that want to learn rope here, but I don't know if that's an accurate statement. It seems like there's a handful or more of people local that would love to learn, and to learn properly, and like we're with it, like you're saying, it being something more than just how many, where do I got to, okay, it goes under your arm here, it goes across, okay, hand me that one over there, just kind of like
More
making
than
designs.
just the technicality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people here have interest in rope, but maybe are daunted by the idea of it.
Yeah.
Scared of going in blind, or,
Also,
not having an easy, because, to be honest, if someone has enough interest in rope, then they could go to a course at, any dojo that could be neighboring. They go to LA. I think there's one in Slow somewhere. I know that they were doing courses there, but a lot of people, the interest isn't quite that big enough, so it's not easily available to them, so they may not want to go for it. But I think that if it were made available, then people can really find a deep interest and deep meaning in it. They just have to almost be exposed to it.
And it also comes down to their their tastings and their first time experiences with it. If they have a positive experience, they're gonna dig deeper.
Back.
Yeah, they're gonna do their research and homework and educate themselves.
There's also a lot of different types of rope tying.
Definitely.
A lot of different, when you go to a tasting, if Jay and Lord Rooster are tying together, there's a huge difference.
They tie completely differently.
They are both doing shibari, but Jay is more sensual, connecting with the partner, quiet, peaceful, where Lord Rooster he wants the brats. He wants a playful person that's going to try to get out of those knots.
Predicament.
Yeah, he likes to play with the partner, be a little bit rough, where so when I'm at the tasting and people come up and they're like, oh, I want to get tied, and I don't know who to go to, I'll ask them, do you want a calm, peaceful tie, or do you want to be played with? You want a fun, silly, roughhousing type situation?
I started to say that Jay was the lover and Rooster was the hunter, but then I realized I've seen Jay be a hunter as well.
He'd be pretty vicious.
Yes, absolutely.
As long as
while
it's
being
negotiated.
intimately, while being intimate about it, so it was a very, very interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
thing
and
to
not to
watch.
say that Lord Rooster can't be that sensual, calm tire, because we've had many experiences that way.
But that's you guys. That's partners.
That's us. That's true.
Not
Yeah.
going to be just anybody.
Right. So, but then there's Western tie, which is, who cares what the rope knots look like. Who cares
Hook 'em
where the
and
rope
scoop 'em.
kind of looks like a really unorganized spider web. But the shibari is all about the lane and the perfect patterns and the knots and
Symmetry,
Yeah.
perfection.
And then there's another one, and my brain is a little bit foggy. Do you know
There
the
was-
other one? I think there's 3 different types.
I'm drawing a blank.
Okay.
Just a little nervous, sorry. It'll come to me like at 3 a.m. in the morning. I'll be like, oh, that's the one
That's
Lala
what she was
said.
talking
Yeah.
about. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. So,
Are there any like specific knots that somebody should learn if they wanted to get into rope?
Yeah.
it's all about safety with rope. It's
Okay.
all about backing your knots up, backing your lays out. Because what you don't want to do is tie something that slips and then it ends up restricting blood flow or constricting.
Oh.
And then of course you want to make sure that if you're going to tie around the neck, that you know what you're doing. Stay away from those areas. Stay away from the clusters of nerve endings that come up close to the surface. Primarily, it's in the lower part of your shoulder, in between where the bone and the nerves come closer, which would be like in your knees, in the back of the knee areas. Even your ankles do have some nerve endings up there. You just don't want to constrict those nerves and cause nerve damage. I've heard of people playing and suspending for a long time, not communicating. When something feels numb, it's time to speak as a bottom. It's time to say, hey, this is not comfortable, and let your rigger know, because you don't want to break your toys. You want to play with them later on.
True.
Let me ask you a quick question. When you started with your sensei, did he take you on as you already know stuff, or are you in his eyes a beginner and don't know
I am
diddly squat?
in his eyes. I am a beginner. We are still breaking seiza.
Okay.
Very fundamentals. We haven't even touched the rope yet. We haven't even talked about the rope yet.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's about protocol.
It's about
Right
tradition. Yeah, tradition,
Okay.
protocol, history.
Okay.
Do they have a preference for like what type of rope you use?
Do I have a preference?
Do they like?
Traditionally, he does the jute or the hemp.
Ah.
Yeah. Just different type of plant-based material. Natural material.
So you couldn't show up with the synthetic from Walmart and be like,
I mean, you could, but it's like showing up to a karate class with something jiu-jitsu. It's
Pajamas.
just
Right.
pajamas or something. You know what I mean? It's you got to show up with the right tool for that class.
interesting.
So what I did do is I did bring 3 different kinds of ropes. My beginning journey here. This first rope I bought off of Amazon, because you know how they make shit look really, really cool in Amazon, and it has these ends on them that are held down by a little Allen key thing here. And they look really, really nice. It looks really pretty. It looks awesome.
They're like little metal aglets.
Yep.
Yeah.
I bought it. I thought, my God, this is awesome rope. This is shit rope. Don't buy this. This is too thick for playing with it. This is my practice rope. This is the one that if you practice with me, I will hand you, and because you can't mess this up. It's a dime a dozen. It's cheap. I'll pass that around so you guys can look at it.
So that'd be like 8mm or 10mm rope?
Yeah. That's 10, I do believe.
So those ends would be really uncomfortable if they got caught under a knot.
Or even just
Or
while
just
you're
got whipped
like,
with one.
Yeah, you're just pulling a knot out and it like whips around.
Whack
smack.
you in your head.
Yep.
I've had that happen.
Right in the face.
Not with the metal, though.
Whacks you in the eyeball. Yeah. The second one is an intermediate rope. This one is just intermediate. I mean, it does cost a little more, but you guys can see the ends here are just knotted down to keep them from flaying open. I like this rope. It's not my favorite rope. My favorite rope is coming up. This was my intermediate rope. I played with this a lot. You guys will see the diameter change and the feel of it. So keep that one, and when it comes around, feel the difference between that and that. And then the conditioning of the rope is also crucial. All of these have been conditioned, so that one's a really soft thief because it's the fabric is broken up so much, really cheap.
Right.
So
compared
this
to
one's a lot. Oh, well, not a lot, but like considerably like stiffer relative to that one. Yeah.
right. That they've all been conditioned the same. They've been treated the same, washed the same, but that one is holding up more. So if I'm going to be suspending, which one would you want to suspend with? That one, or the one that's stiffer, the one that's holding up after conditioning?
I would imagine it would be the stronger one because the knots aren't going to keep on getting tighter and tighter, right?
Correct. And it's also the microscopically conditioning. When you guys put conditioner in your washer machine, what it's doing is it's actually breaking the fabrics down, and that's what makes it softer. So the fabrics are broken there. Lots of strands have been broken on this rope, where that one,
It's
even though
still holding its integrity.
it's more integrity. And if you're going to hang somebody, you want something with its integrity.
Yeah.
But even though, like you were saying, that the cheaper one was softer to the touch, it is. But the other one isn't not soft.
Yeah.
You know, it's soft.
It's just stiff.
It's just
It's
sturdier.
Just, yeah,
It feels
sturdier.
sturdier.
Yeah, because I feel like stiff's going to give the wrong idea of it.
It-
Definitely, it feels sturdier.
It feels more earthy,
Yeah.
right?
I feel like, yeah.
The other one feels like clothing,
Yes.
really, but the other one feels more earthy and fibrous, but not pokey or
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
not bitey.
Yeah.
And the third contestant here, this one is purchased from Japan. So it's definitely my favorite. This is the Cadillac. It's a little pricey, but it's hand selected for you and cut to your length. And then the sensei actually works the ends. If you can see this, it's knotted on the end, but it is also held back, retained by this smaller stuff. It's
called
stuff,
whipping.
and it's properly
It's whipped.
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 So
What are
Lord
the
Rooster
things?
whips his own rope
What are the
with
things on
his
the
colors.
It's just, it can be string, so like cotton string, or even,
It's like a binder. It binds it like a corset, but not a corset, obviously.
Ends? Okay.
and it can be sewed in.
Because it'll
that it
fray
doesn't
and
come
fray and fray.
Yeah.
It'll fray all the way up. So this keeps it.
It's like extra security to try to keep it all together, the ends
Yeah.
together?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like if you're ordering from certain websites, you can order it to be whipped.
That smells like an orgasm.
Really? Like a dildo?
It
Look at her. She
That
just turned so red. What's going on,
makes-
Lala?
me so turned on that smell, that
is it-
rope smell.
or was it my
Oh
dildos
gosh.
over here?
Stop. Someone had asked the whipping of the ends of the rope. Can you do it yourself? Absolutely, yes, you can. There are videos on YouTube on how to do it. That way you can do your own colors. Like I mentioned, Lord Rooster did his own in red and black because those are his colors.
And you can find videos on whipping from like weird places, like cowboy YouTube channels.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Because they have their lassos.
Yeah, so
right?
it's not just a kink thing.
Yeah. So you mentioned conditioning the rope. Now I know a little bit about that because, of course, Lord Rooster conditioned all of his rope. But I just noticed on your little table over here that you have a little container of conditioner.
Yeah.
Now, is that the beeswax?
It's
Yeah.
a combination of beeswax, essential oils, or what is it? I don't know if I want to mispronounce it. Jojoba?
Jojoba,
Jojoba,
something like that.
jojoba.
I would think
It's
so.
Jojo, but I think it's
Yeah.
pronounced jojoba.
I think so.
Or jojoba is what it looks like. Or
I-
jojoba.
I have leather conditioner that has a lot of that same stuff in it,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
So if you need if you want all natural leather conditioner,
It's also
And it
good for
has
your
the same
for your
stuff on
skin,
yeah,
Right.
for your own skin.
And I think you've hit it right there, Lala, is condition it, and then also right before you go on in a scene or before you work with the rope, like put a little bit on your cuticles and where your index fingers and your thumbs, because that's primarily where the rope works your hands, and
Oh, so
then
it
it's
smooths
going to
it?
suck. While the rope, what the hemp does is it pulls oils from your hand. So it dries your hand. So by conditioning your hands, not only are you conditioning your rope, but you're preventing the what are these called when you cut
Calluses?
your cuticles?
cuticle.
And it's like this tiny
hangnail.
No, it's like your cuticles right above the nail, and it's this little cut that just oh my god, they're
so bad.
painful, right?
Yeah.
So it prevents that,
Like
and
a little paper cut,
conditions your
Little
rope as well.
splits.
I got them last time I got my nails done. The lady
Oh.
got me just a little bit, and I was,
Yeah.
and it's for days. It's just such a little, tiny little thing on your hand.
Here,
but
have
for
some
days.
lemons.
Ugh.
I cut my thumb working on floggers on a circular cutter. I just like barely touched my hand to it, and it just like shocked, like a little shock, like. Tz. And I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I looked down and I was like, "It's not even bleeding yet," but it was coming. It just took it a minute, but
It's
it was
such
like,
a sensitive little spot that you wouldn't even think about it. Like I said, like for days, that little part of my finger hurt, and it was just so agitating because
You
it's such
can-
thin
if you
skin.
put a rubber band, if you put a Band-Aid on it, it'll help.
Yeah.
With
Or
the
you
pain.
I didn't want to mess up my nails.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, just around it so that
Yeah,
you
so
don't
it covers.
keep tearing at it.
Or you can just simply ask me for a little bit of this conditioner. I usually make lots of it and have it for myself, but like if I make one bottle, I'll make 10. It's in my bag. All you got to do is ask, and you can have some if you need it. It's fairly inexpensive
Cool.
to make.
So going back to rope,
That'd be a cool class too.
Yeah.
yeah, so many good classes that we could have.
Do like a toy care class.
The different thicknesses of your ropes. Now the last two were kind of pretty similar,
6 millimeter.
right? Have you used synthetic rope? Have you used the hairy sharp rope? I can't think of what it's called.
Coconut.
Coconut rope.
The
The mean rope.
mean rope.
That's what I
Have you
call it.
used that? Did you have to wear gloves for that? I would think I would
no.
want to wear gloves. For
I
that.
should have, yes.
Did you get splinters?
Tear you up.
Like I just explained, the rope, but this one is actually like little miniature thorns, I would say. And every time you're working with the model and you got to reach across and pull, like your skin starts, it's like sandpaper. It just starts coming off.
So you didn't enjoy it?
Yeah, of course I did.
Oh, you
She
did?
was beautiful. Yes.
Did your model enjoy it?
I would say yes.
Okay. Was
Yeah.
it your wife?
Yes.
I'm going to ask her.
Did
next
your
time I see
hands
her.
enjoy it? I feel like it's probably the better question.
My hands did not enjoy it, but the experience I did enjoy.
Okay.
So-
Would you suggest that for people who are beginning?
For people who are beginning, I would say find your way, because
yeah.
your way is not my way.
And it could depend on what they're looking for, what they're hoping to get out of it. If they
Yeah.
want that painful kind of forbidden bondage.
Okay.
And some people like synthetic. They like the feel of it. Myself, I'm traditional. I love the jute and the hemp. I just think it looks sexy. I love the way it feels. I love the way it smells. And I love working with it. So my way is not your way. We just have to find our way.
What's your take on cotton?
It would be my backup if I was to want something softer that's not that rigid.
Yeah.
Because it does bend a lot. It's a lot more
More delicate.
more softer, right?
But those knots get so tight
Mm-hmm.
with
Well,
cotton. At
yeah.
least with the ones that I have.
Yeah, it's a lot
That
of
makes
give.
sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I bought some cotton and did it mostly for sensation play over actual tying.
Yeah.
So,
I
like,
did
if-
mine just to look pretty. Like
Yeah, just if somebody just wanted to like experience it and just kind of want all the happy little moments of it without any of the actual earning it kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Any other questions, Lala?
Can you have sex with someone who is bound?
Oh, well, I don't know. Let's find out. You want to give it a shot? Of course you can have
You only
sex
have
as
3
long as-
Skeins. That's not enough for me.
Oh, goodness.
I've got
No,
a
there's
whole
more.
bag in
I've
there
got-
he can borrow.
Yeah, I've got plenty
Have
in
your
the
whole
bag.
Well, so what are any safety guidelines that we would have to we would have to talk about before you tied me up and fucked me?
Oh, nice.
I said a
Well,
bad word.
you
oh,
did.
you did. That was crazy.
Not only did you say it, but you like reached out with a hand to like invitingly.
That is the second time I have ever heard you say a bad word ever, and my mind is blown right now.
She's a
It
dirty
surprised
girl.
me too. Did you see me look at you?
I
I'm
did.
like,
I loved it, Lala.
you're bringing out naughty in me.
That's good.
Okay, no, seriously, are there any safety precautions or things that we should know before getting tied up and being used and
Yes, of course. Just like with anything, any toys, once you lick them, spit them, get any kind of bodily fluid on it, it's yours. So rope is very porous. You can't wash this, even if you dump it in a vat of whatever. That rope just became yours. So we're going to play with your girly parts, and that's going to slide in there or get some kind of, moisture or, juices or anything down there.
Mm-hmm.
It just became your rope. You will bag that up, put it in a paper bag, and take it with you.
And then will they need to cash app you the amount that it costs? Because
So
know
we're
it's
not
not
going to be
cheap.
using that Japanese rope.
right.
It would all depend. Lala, I would definitely tie her up with that Japanese expensive stuff.
Listen,
Oh.
I have my own expensive Japanese rope bag.
Oh.
You don't want to add more to your collection?
Tie you up in one of those spider webs. And
Mine
just
is-
take advantage of you.
Okay, well, gosh, you guys are making me blush. Not you guys. He is.
So this has been
Stop
a very
making me
blushy
blush.
episode for you.
What would your position be like if you tied me up? Is your wifey gonna get upset that we're talking so dirty? But if you
God,
were,
you and her have done worse things. Come on, Lala.
I don't remember it.
Exactly.
So if you were to tie me up, how would you want to have sex? Like, what would be the position?
I wouldn't
the
want to
go-to?
have sex. Not to be mean. Like I wouldn't have sex with you just yet. I would work you.
He would want to torment me.
I would
Toy you.
I would slow down. Like sex is like way out there.
No,
It's like-
I'm just asking because that's a question about, getting tied up and having sex. Is that something that you do? Is that something that you like? And if so, what would the position be? Not necessarily me then. Let's go
Well,
off
let's
of that.
be real clear that none of us put anything about position on there. That's totally on your head right
Yep.
now.
right.
Well, it kind of went
All
with
in your
it, so I'm
fantasy.
being
I know. You're just
curious.
saying. You're
is
throwing that
Lala.
out there like,
Yeah.
where do you
That
want me?
is
How
not
do
on
you-
the notes.
Yeah.
This is Lala.
Put me in my place, please.
Okay, let's change the subject
No,
then.
let's not. Mm.
She really said, "How would you
How
fuck
would you
me?"
fuck me? Very softly, very deeply, very deeply.
You'd be stretched in
I
ways
guess- I
you've
guess
never
the-
I know,
encountered.
right?
The real question would be, how would you want to get fucked by me? Just imagine it. You don't have to say it.
I've seen it.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Okay.
Let's get back to rope.
Whew. Can you feel the temperature change on the skin if there is an inadequate blood flow in a specific part of the body that maybe you've bound?
You're going to go with visual first because you will always lose the coloring. The red blood cells would be restricted to the appendage. So if you're tying the arm or the leg, let's say your arm, the cyanosis or the blueness would come to your fingertips first, to the beds of your nails first, which means your veins are not bringing the unoxygenated blood back to your heart or your lungs and your heart to redistribute, to oxygenate. So the first thing you would actually see is the color change.
So your fingernail beds would turn white or that
White.
bluish white?
Yeah. And then the capillary refill there, when you squeeze it
Uh-huh.
and you let go, it turns red again. It goes from a white to a red within 2 seconds. That would stop. You'd push your fingernail down, and when you let go, it would stay white. That means that there's restricted blood flow there, and you would want to reposition the model.
Okay, my fingers are staying white. You need to reposition me.
And sometimes it feels a little cold too, because I've been in the position where I had friends that were practicing rope, and I looked over and I was like, your fingers look weird," and I reached over to
And
see
they
if they would go, but I felt how cold they were
Right.
before I even saw the visual of their fingers not turning pinkish again with blood flow.
So color change and temperature change are
you
both
would have
You
the
didn't do
color
by the color change first.
Yeah.
This one was obviously the bottom must have been like that for a while
For a
and didn't
little
say
bit.
anything.
And that, I think you hit it there, Princess, anemic Princess. It's the communication you have with your model. It's got to be there. That safety, that security, the bottom being able to say, hold on, this does not feel right. Please adjust. If you don't have that, you shouldn't be playing with that person.
Yeah. I would feel like, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I would think that when it comes to rope, there has to be a little bit more self-advocacy on the bottom side than I would say with other types of scenes, especially because other scenes, especially if we're talking like impact or anything else like that, I feel like there needs to be a little bit more of a willingness to communicate from the bottom if they feel like something's a little bit off, because I feel like some of that damages that you can get from rope can be more permanent.
Right.
Personally, I don't know if that's true or not.
It's
but
very true. And I'm going to add something to this. Think about it. Usually to play with somebody with rope, it takes a long time to put the rope on them. Well, guess what? It's the same thing on the back end. It takes a long time to take the rope off. So if you if you do have an emergency, you got to be ready to cut that rope. You have to. And you have to have a good pair of shears. And I'm not talking about the $2 ones that you get from Amazon that look like medical shears. Invest in some Gerber or some, I guess I should have brought mine out of my bag.
Like medical grade?
Medical grade shears.
Ambulance shears
Yeah.
or something?
Definitely. Because I would rather pay for that and have success cutting the rope off instantly than spending time like trying with these flimsy things to cut this.
Or worse, spending time with an interrogator trying to explain how you accidentally killed somebody.
So, and as you get used to being tied with your partner, you do get an idea of how much longer you can hold that position. So I used to, with Lord Rooster all the time, I would be like, you got about 15 more minutes with me in this position. And then he would do something, loosen my arms, change the position, tie me again, and move, and then continue on with whatever he was doing. And then I'd be like, okay, because I move around a lot. Because I'm old, guys. I got to move around a lot.
Yeah, so I just reached in my bag really quick and I got these.
Oh, wow. These are
out.
Leatherman.
Like when I told you guys, if I'm going to do something, I buy the Cadillac shit. Not to say that you have to go out and get Leatherman, but Leatherman is a good, reliable brand. And in case of emergency, every time I tie, I know where they're at. I usually hang them with some small stuff, and I hang them in a corner somewhere where they're within arm's reach. And then not only that, but whoever the DM is, I also let them know, hey, these scissors are here. In case of an emergency, we call for them. We can use them.
They're so smooth.
Yeah. Heavy duty things.
Yeah. So as I was saying, sorry, those were really neat. You can look them up. They're Leatherman, medical grade shears, EMTs. So just for knowledge for people who don't know, you do get used to getting tied, and you do get to that point where you can be like, yeah, 5 minutes, and you got to let me go. Now, Lord Rooster used to do these really cool release knots where part of me could stay tied, but he could release my arms at any time.
Right.
Because that's where I have the most trouble is my arms and shoulders. So he would release my arms and he'd reposition them and then tie me again. But the rest of me, my legs would still be tied. My torso would still be tied, but my arms could be untied. And it was really cool to be able to know my body well enough and to vocalize it. So
And I think you said the same thing I said to Anemic Princess. It's the communication. And as the bottom, as the muse, being able to say, hey, this does not feel good. In order for us to continue, we have to make an adjustment.
Yeah.
That brings up a good point too, because consent can change based on the length of time that it takes to tie too. Like somebody might be fully willing to like, yes, tie me up, do whatever you want. Well, hopefully they didn't say that, but they say, yes, I agree to being tied up. Let's do this. And we'll aim for like 20 minutes. Say, okay, cool. 5 minutes into it, they could have something happen where all of a sudden it's not okay. They're having a panic attack or anxiety or something because of for things that they didn't know they were going to experience. So,
Or they could just be bloated that day.
okay, well, that's a little less dramatic.
I know, but you know, I'm just saying, like, it could be something as simple as just kind of like, oh, and maybe like I would say that there are probably bottoms that are like, man, normally I could take this, but this is just, I had McDonald's earlier, and maybe I can't have that much pressure right there after all.
We get back to the standard definition, right? Yellow, green, or red. Like, if you're yellowing, hey, adjust this, fix this. And if it's a red, I just cannot continue. Just, it's okay to say stop, or it's okay to say red.
I feel like, and I feel like we may have talked about this on the podcast before, but especially, I guess newer bottoms may have some sort of perception, especially when they think about kink in general. I think most people's brains go to like impact, right? And they're probably thinking like, I want to take as much as this person will give me. And so I know, like, for those folks, sometimes they think about that. They're like, I take as much as this person will give me, and that will keep them from safe wording. So maybe with rope, where it's not always meant to be painful. Sometimes it is if you're sadistic like this one across the table from me. But you know, when it comes to restraint, maybe they might have even further insecurity about, you know, advocating for themselves and saying something doesn't feel right.
Well, to be honest with you, honestly, I myself as a top, I would not want to play with somebody who is not okay to say for themselves, hey, hold on. Like, it's their body and I'm learning it. I'm trying to understand it. And they feel the pain. What's pleasurable pain? What's a pleasurable tightness? If it's too constricting, if it's not tight enough, if the knot is laying in the wrong side where you're laying on it on the back, it could be readjusted. I need the time.
Yeah.
I need that time, because it's playing with rope is very time consuming. And I come out of that thing that I tell the model, you will get sweat on you. Are you okay with a drop of sweat hitting your arm or something like that? Because it is intense and there is a lot of labor to try to move the model, because it's basically dead weight. She's not helping you, or he's not helping you, and you have to position them the way you want to position them. And I'm not a big guy, and that's a lot of weight. So you will be sweating, and you have to say, hey, this does not feel good.
I mean, I think it's, like I was saying before, the amount of, I feel like of self-advocacy the bottom has to be willing to do has to be a lot more in this regard.
It's all about the model.
Yeah.
It's not even about the top or the rope. It's all about the model.
I feel like when it comes to rope, there's a bigger chance of somebody asking to be tied up and not understanding that their consent is changeable. Their desire to continue can stop at any time. Like they might go into it thinking, well, I told them I'm okay with being tied up, so it's in their hands now. Like I'll just let them do whatever they want, which you can probably do with somebody of like your caliber, but I wouldn't want to do with somebody who's like, hey, I just got some rope, I want to learn how to do it. You want to come bottom for me? Like, no.
Yeah,
like,
that's not going to happen.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that don't realize that your consent is up to you.
Yes.
All times.
It can change at any time without any repercussions from anybody, period. The bottom, I don't want to say is in charge, but the bottom is in charge.
Yeah.
It's her body or their body, and we're just trying to learn it.
Yeah.
This was a fun topic.
It was.
I really like that.
It was-
Rope is scary.
And informative.
And I can't wait to get back to class and be able to have community events where we can share, learn, and teach each other's way, what we've learned, and grow.
So, I would like to have a word of the episode.
Oh, are we doing that?
Yes, let's have a word of the episode, and
I
I'm
got a
going.
perfect word.
I was gonna say I'm gonna hand it over to you. What's going to be our word of the episode?
For one final last time, I think the word should be dildo.
What is up with that?
What is up with that?
Nothing. Dildo.
Dildo.
Why are you turning red, Lala?
Stop. Hey, we have a kink.
We
We don't.
We don't?
Yes, we do.
No kinks
We have a
are
kink
allowed.
of the week.
No kinks are allowed
No kinks are allowed.
on this podcast.
This podcast.
We have to rebrand immediately.
Exactly.
Kink fetish of the week.
Oh, but what was the word of the day again, or the word of the week?
The word of the today?
The word of the episode.
Today. The
Yeah.
secret word?
Yeah. What's the
I
secret
thought,
word?
I thought it was dildo.
Is it?
Was it dildo?
I was trying to get Lala to tell me, but
Oh my
apparently
God.
she's not going.
Oh, look at her. Look at her.
Stop it.
Dildo.
Stop it.
Oh my God. Look at her. What's going on down there, Lala?
Stop.
Oh my God. Lala, stop.
Okay. Let's talk about spanking because that is our kink fetish of the week.
Oh.
Well, tell us about it,
I
Lala.
don't know anything about it.
So do you guys want to hear about the first time I got spanked?
Yes.
No.
The first
Maybe-
time you could remember?
Maybe
Not-
as an adult.
Maybe
As
the
a-
first time you consented to it.
Yes,
Let's-
as an
yeah,
adult,
there we
consenting.
go.
I was 29-ish, I think. And it was really, I was so, my face turned all red and fleshy and I was so embarrassed.
Seen that a
and
few times tonight.
I just got put over his lap.
Oh.
Yeah, on my couch in my living room, and he just started to spank me, just like soft little spanks.
Was it random? Was it
Yeah,
something you
I
agreed to, or
wasn't
was
in-
it just?
There were a lot of things that I didn't know or hadn't tried, and he just he gave me my first vibrator.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave me this pearl thing. It was like a clamshell with a pearl that vibrated, and it's supposed to stimulate your clit in your panties type thing.
Oh.
Right? And he wanted to watch me use these things that I've never used before, ever in my life.
Is this the same person who put you on display and left
Oh.
I don't know. What are
on
you
like
talking
a
about?
couch or a mattress or something, and they left the door open?
Oh, no, that was someone else.
Oh, okay.
No, that was in college. No, this is...
As I grab my notebook and take notes.
This is after college.
Yeah, this is after college. Yeah, no, I'd never been spanked before, and that was my first. It was just it was shock talk.
Did you? Oh, well, then that answers that question.
Yeah, there we go.
I was going to ask if you enjoyed it, but now I know.
Oh,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but I was embarrassed because it was I was an adult, but I was being spanked. So it was pleasurable, but it was.
Were you naughty, though?
I don't think so. I think he just wanted me to know what a spanking felt like.
Was it like sensual?
It was sensual.
Okay.
It was very sensual,
See,
and I'm
I'm
sure it
more-
led to lots of other fun things.
Yeah.
I
more
don't
into
remember specifically.
I'm more
but-
into like disciplinarian, like play, like you've been a naughty girl, and you
Oh,
gotta
so
come
role
over here-
play? You want to
yeah,
role play?
Come over here and get your spankings,
I
kind
like
of
that
thing.
too.
Like,
I had a boyfriend who, professed to be kinky and then pulled me away from the group because that's what they did. They got intimidated when they met Shock Doc.
Frankly.
And hi, Shock.
we love you, Shock.
And would use a hairbrush if I did something wrong, and I do that in finger quotes wrong. They would use a hairbrush as my punishment spanking, and I can tell you, I hated it.
Really?
I hated it.
Lala,
It didn't make me stop. But I hated it.
you got me thinking about my first time. I got spanked.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
With a hairbrush?
No, it was actually with the paddle. Believe it or not, it was with the paddle.
But as an adult?
No,
As a child?
Yeah.
I got spanked with a paddle when I was a child,
Yeah,
too.
the principal
At school.
at
Yeah.
school.
You did?
Yeah.
The principal?
The principal. Now that you, yeah.
Principal
And-
did ours too.
And believe it or not,
What?
guess what? I did not cry.
Were they mad that you didn't cry?
I don't know.
Did they
but,
take it as a challenge and spank you more?
Well, I was only 2. You were only allowed to give 2 that
2
time.
years old?
No, not 2 years old. 2
Oh.
swats.
Only 2
it.
swats?
Yeah. I guess school policy back then. Lots have changed
Wow.
between now and then.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, the worst I've seen, like, there was a teacher who took away one of my pictures and she almost got fired for it. And when I was in 2nd grade, but y'all were getting spanked. Like,
I didn't get spanked. I had to do sentences.
And thinking about it right now, like, I think I might have enjoyed it.
Ooh, does that mean I can spank you?
No, maybe I got... Thinking about it right now, thinking about
I
it.
think I
We
can
can do this
spank
whole hot
him.
for teacher
That's-
thing. We have the
no.
whiteboard.
Yeah, I'll be
We
the
have
I'll
the
be your
whiteboard.
teacher.
No. Back up, guys. Like, really, I'm being vulnerable here, okay?
We're being serious.
We're being very serious. We'll
I
help
think
you.
that's why I couldn't walk out, because that was also the first time that I got a boner.
How old were you?
Well, I don't know, 6th grade. Fuck, I don't know.
Sixth grade?
Yeah, 6th grade.
Sixth grade. Did you go to a private school?
Yes.
How old
And
are
I
you?
got out of there, and I think
You would have
I
been
had
like
to
11 or
adjust-
12.
What year was that?
I think I had to adjust my small penis. I
What
do
year was
remember
that? I think he's telling us a story. What year was that?
I can't even tell you what year it is right now.
It's 2024. No.
2024, yes. But that's what I was thinking. I honestly got a
You
Woody.
got spanked? Was
and
it a
my
Catholic
first
school?
Woody. And my first Woody.
Was it a Catholic school?
Like, attention soldier.
I'm listening. Catholic school?
Let's talk later.
Okay, I want to know everyone else's first time getting spanked as an adult, not as a child.
But I liked it.
you want to go ahead, Thief?
He's thinking. Think. Thinkity, think.
It's not a good story.
It is.
It's
It
not.
already-
It's really not
Always
a good story.
Look at the smile on
Look
your
at that
face.
smile.
Okay, wait. Did you get spanked or did you give a spank? I think you can
I
tell
got
either
spanked.
story.
You said when we get spanked.
Yeah, yeah, okay,
Was
that-
the first time we got
Let's
spanked.
hear it.
So, somebody I was dating, I won't say an ex or anything, but like, they asked if I'd been ever been spanked, and I said, no, not like that. They said, well, do you want to? And I said, no. I said, I'm not into like pain. Like, you pain me, then I'm just turned off. Like, it's just like a light switch. Like, no. And so they tried it, and that's exactly what happened. I was just like, that was dumb. Very dumb. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm going to go and leave now. So nothing came of it. Like, I didn't. And so I went for years thinking that pain had nothing for me until this community showed me otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And not on purpose. Like, nobody said, let me do something painful to you. Like, because I was like, no, I didn't want anything like that. But it was just a little random, like, hey, do that to me. I just want to see real quick. And well, this wasn't even spanking. We're past the spanking part, but nothing happened in spanking thing. So, like I said, dumb story.
What do you think about spanking now?
I don't know. I haven't been spanked.
Was it with a hand or a tool?
It was not a brush, paddle.
Well, you should talk to Posh.
Did it hurt?
We can fix that.
It was uncomfortable.
Did it hurt though?
Well, one, they didn't know what they were doing.
Oh.
Like, I've seen people spank here in the dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had no idea what they were doing. So it was just like a random spanking that you would like. I don't know how to explain it. There was no tact to it. There was no layers to it. It was just like a smack, smack, smack. How was that? Is that good? And I'm like, no.
Mm-mm. They didn't even warm you up.
No, nothing like that. So it was just completely.
All right, anemic. Your first time being spanked as an adult.
Well, I'm trying to think because I have a real fat ass, okay?
Mm-hmm,
So, literally, like, since I was a teenager, just my male friends who, have learned better now, obviously, used to just go and, like, swat on my ass or someone walked by. So I knew that I liked it. So, like, with partners as an adult, I can't really think of a first time that it happened as an adult. But I will say, and I don't even know if Gigantor remembers this, There was a day where we were like, we're having sex all day and he was doing impact on me. And I was like so incredibly like worked up and turned on that he just got to like spanking me. And there was at one point, because he has big hands, right? He got me kind of like in the middle, right? So he got both of my cheeks at once, but it like reverberated up to my pussy and I came so hard. And I was like, I just came from being spanked. And I remember I looked at him like, you fucking wizard. Like, how did you do that? He was acting like he knew what he did.
He looks like he has no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, he probably knows. He was just like, yeah, that was a total fluke.
Hi, Shark Boy. We're talking about you.
I didn't know that was about me.
Yeah, I was talking about you making me come. Thank you. Thanks, babe.
Welcome for all the orgasms.
Thanks, babe.
Nice. First time you spanked someone, Thief?
It was it was a mutual spanking that went on for a long time. It took place at a workplace with a coworker, and it was using wet towels that we'd snap each other with. Yeah. And it went from some weird like just snap for pain to you liked that. Yeah, okay. Then we'll just get each other every once in a while. And it turned into like I shouldn't say sexual, but it had like a very sexual sense to it. Like, I mean, it was heavily dripping in like desire, kind of like kinky fun play, even though nothing ever came of it, like from it. Like, it just, I don't know how to explain it. It just was what it was. And I would say that would probably be, that might even be a better answer for my first time being spanked, although it wasn't a traditional spanking. So it was just snaps. But
Jay, do you remember the first spanking you gave?
The first spanking I gave was, I was in the military, and I do remember dating this lady, and we were intimate, doggy style, with her face down in the pillow, boobs barely touching nipples, the bed, but really up high. I'm like not squatting, but like on my feet, like with my knees bent, and I'm inside her going like straight down, like pile driving straight down. And she, I did not know what kink was back then, right? And she said, spank me, hit me. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, spank you, like hit you? So, yeah, spank me. While you're fucking me, spank me. And I'm like, this is fucking weird. I did not know back then, right? So I spanked her, and she corrected me lower, because I hit her like right,
Like towards the top.
right where the bony area is on the top, right? And I didn't know what I was doing. She's a lot lower, and then she said, cup it and come up from the bottom, not from the top. So I cupped it. And back then, I mean, I was working out, I was eating, I was like, it was scrawny, still little me, but there was a lot of muscle. Like in the military, all you do is like work out and eat and work out and eat. And man, I let her, like, I gave it all I got. My hand was numb. And every time that I would hit her, like her pussy, like squeezed me out. Like milked me. Like, you know, like pulled, like it gets tight and then spits your cock out, and then you try to like thrust back in and it's still tight. Yeah, that was good.
And then you were corrupted after then.
Yes.
That's funny.
So that was my first time officially spanking somebody.
Lala.
When we had our very first dungeon, which was way on the other side of town, there was a gentleman who, he was a bigger guy, kind of remind me like size of Shark Boy. And if you don't know who Shark Boy is, too bad. Just a taller, bigger guy than me. I'm kind of little, I guess.
Yeah, you're definitely a small size guy.
I'm short. Yeah. Anyway, we both showed up to an event wearing leather pants or pleather pants or whatever, right? And so...
What do you mean, whatever? There's a
Pleather
huge
or
difference.
leather?
Huge difference.
I don't
Which
remember.
was it?
They were black, shiny, tight
Vegan leather.
pants.
There's no such thing as vegan leather.
They were, let's just go with pleather. They were pleather pants. We were both wearing pleather pants. They were skin freaking tight. And I don't know why, but we just started hitting each other with those pants on. Like, and we just would wrestle and we were laughing so hard, but we were spanking as hard as we could too. Just like he'd get me and I'd run around and get him. And it just was like the funnest, silliest, youthful experience that I could tell you. And it was innocent, but it was fun.
This was at band camp?
No, this was at the dungeon.
Oh, okay.
And it might have been when we were building the dungeon and like one of the very first events, and there were just not that many people there, and kind of a lot more chatting and talking and playing the slut game rather than actual scening. But that was really fun. Yeah. But the real one, the like first true spanking, I believe, was probably Greedy. Me spanking Greedy.
When you were forced to?
With his mistress. Well.
Yep.
I'm not going to say forced, but yeah.
Well, I mean it playfully.
Heavily
yes,
encouraged.
playfully. Like,
Yeah.
we have cookies. Come and get the cookies. Lala, eat the cookies. Yeah. Anemic. First time you spanked someone.
It was during our the spanking event we used to have at the dungeon. Was it Spanks a Lot?
Spanks a lot.
Yeah, that was the first time I ever did it because that was the first time I learned how to properly spank someone, and I was like super into it after that. So it was super fun, and I got to spank a lot of butts.
I can say I've never been to that.
It was pretty fun. It was a good crowd of people that are there, and they really know what they're doing, and I give you tips.
And believe it or not, there was a lot of spankies there, like that wanted to be spanked.
I remember who led it, and he had some like
he had big hands.
Big hands.
Big hands, yeah.
Oh yeah, he did.
Picture mitt hands.
Yeah, you know what I really
Almost as big as Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him like swatting people. And
he'd
the
push
whole,
you.
Yeah, and the whole, what is it? The
horse.
The horse,
Uh-huh.
like would scoot 5-6 inches forward.
Yeah.
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 He got me good one time, and I thought I was gonna go over the side of it because he told me, he was like, I need you to like brace yourself, and I was like, oh yeah, no, I've seen what you've done to other people. And I was like really on there, but I was really concerned that I was gonna go over the other side.
Yeah.
Because he is hard. He was real good.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we want to share our best and worst times? I don't know that I can remember any. I mean,
don't really have anything for that
I
either.
don't really remember.
I already basically shared my best.
Yeah, I
time,
feel like I did too.
Oh, and I kind of said my worst was the stupid hairbrush.
Yeah, I was the worst times for me is just every time I go on a hookup with some guy who is just, he's like, oh yeah, I'm totally kinky, and he gives you like 2 taps and he's done in 2 minutes. Those are probably the assortment of my worst times.
What, done in
We
2
have
minutes?
not
Like
dated.
sexually done?
Oh, shut up.
Wait, sexually done in 2 minutes?
Yes.
What?
2 minutes? That's like 4 times.
Yeah.
But they do like a little like, yeah, you like that? Tap, tap. Like barely brush your ass and like, haha, I'm spanking you. And I'm done. Okay, where's your Uber? And I'm like, oh, fuck. Promised me all this big game and
I've been there. I've been that person before. Not with you, but I mean, in general.
well, if you ever
Sometimes
turn out to
you
be
just-
that person again, like, because that happens, right? But, you know, you could at least fucking put some work in and get me off, too.
That's
like,
the thing is now, if that happens, then it's all about sliding that one under the rug, and we're just going to take care of you for about an hour and a half, 2 hours,
Yeah.
however long we've got.
Or why wouldn't
Exactly.
you just say, wow, that I wasn't expecting it to happen that fast. Let's hang out and try again in an hour. Right?
Like, that's
Like-
what they should probably say. But at that point, I
Yeah.
was so pissed by their little, like, tap, tap. And what the fuck
Well,
is
maybe
that?
they were hoping that you would be like, look, biatch, this is how you do it, and
They
turn
also-
tables on them.
To be
could've-
fair, I was not a top back then.
Oh,
so.
okay.
Could have been embarrassed too, just like, holy shit, that just fucking happened. This only happens in the movies, and to like my friends, I gotta go. Like, I'm gonna go.
And that
hide.
apple pie.
Yeah, no, they seemed entirely
Rhubarb.
too fucking proud of that. And I'm like, oh, that was not a.
Then that was sad.
They
was
were
not a
proud of that?
They're like, oh, that happened. Like, they were just like, hell yeah, I got my nut in. Like, that was very much like the reaction that they tended to have. It was only like maybe, I've only had a bad experience with maybe like 2 or 3 guys, realistically. It's part of the reason why I have a hard time doing hookups, because I'm like, very few of them have panned out with me actually finishing, which, I don't know, you can ask Gigantor. It's not a difficult task to get me to get off. So if like you can't get me off, then you're kind of hopeless. So
Is it like
I could get you off.
Is it easier to use? Is it easier to use a dildo to get you off? Wow, look at your squirming
Stop
over there.
it.
What's going on?
We gotta go. We gotta end the show. It's been on for like 8 hours, I feel like.
Yep.
I'm exhausted.
I
So
bet.
tired.
so
Why are
tired.
you sweating, Lala?
I'm not
Yeah.
sweating
What was the
anymore.
for the listeners one more time? What was the today's word?
Stop.
Yeah, the word.
Stop.
Stop. You don't want us to tell the listeners the word? What if they forgot?
I can't remember
Sorry,
either. Let's
listeners,
go.
we can't tell you the word anymore because Lala wants to be hydrated.
Bye.